Hey there, y'all. Welcome back to Songwriter's Journal with Rob Edenbo. I lost track of what number we're on, but this will be the first one for 2024. We're already into February, so I'm a little behind here. I haven't shot one of these videos since I think early December. So we're going real raw here this time. I'm reading off of paper, and well, I'm not really reading off of it. We're going to get a little looser than that. Just using it as kind of a guidepost here. But I'm going to go over some stuff like favorite releases, a little bit of a 2023 kind of recap, stuff I did back last year, and yeah, going over just my highlights of the year, I guess, and then goals moving forward. And I wrote a new song. Written a couple this year. I've written, I think, at least 5 or 6 here. So I know I've already mapped out the next Songwriter's Journal, so hopefully I'll get to releasing a few of these things here. Keep you up to date with what I'm doing musically, what my goals are. So if you like this sort of thing, I really appreciate you watching. Follow my YouTube channel, please. Hit subscribe, like the video. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I'll get into a little more what I'm doing this coming year, but I am certainly going to get the Instagram and Facebook up to date, I guess. Not up to date. Make it a professional, more professional, I guess. Anyway, I do want to kind of start out just pointing out that my biggest accomplishment last year was I finally got out and played an open gig, public-facing gig. So my first one was on the corner here, across the street from where I live. I'd been heading over to that place the 2 years, since they had opened, and I was a regular over there and checking out all their live music at least once a week. They would get bands on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's sad to note that they just closed at the last days of 2023. They decided they weren't going to keep that open anymore. Yeah. That's how they go. Venues come and go. You got to roll with it, just like musicians and bands that come and go. Roll with things if you want to keep at it. If you want to still be around, you got to be flexible. And I'll admit that's how I am in my nursing side of my life as well. One of my strengths has been I've been flexible, been able to bust ass when it's time to bust it, and when I'm told to get out of what I do and get out of my comfort zone, I do it without a bunch of whining and theatrics, and get on to what needs done. That was my first gig ever, that I guess that you could call open face. I've been doing regular gigs at the place I work at, the nursing home, and I continue that. I'm going to continue that once a month all throughout 2024. I did it all 2023. I'm not even sure when I started, but I know I was back during COVID, so it was 2020. I was really starting to do that on a regular basis there. I think in 2020 it was one song maybe a month, because they were doing these regular talent shows where they would get staff to entertain because nothing was going on and you couldn't even gather, so they would video it. Now I'm live. I get about a dozen or so residents on a dementia unit, sometimes as many as 20, sometimes as few as half a dozen, whoever you can gather up, whoever's interested. And just sit around and do some folk songs, real laid back. The place that I had my first gig was a winery. There's a coffee shop now. I've done 3 or 4 gigs there. Very nice, like it. There's at least 1 or 2 bars that I played in last year, so that's always interesting, going out and doing these different things in different atmospheres, and setting up, tearing down a full rig, my own PA system. I know indoors at the coffee shop I'm using a small Fishman amp that functions as a PA, and then when I'm outdoors at the coffee shop or the bar I played at was an outdoor facility, a biker bar no less, so they're all coming and going with the loud engines roaring. So I had my full PA. It's no, I know what this is called. It's a Bose L116 Pro. It's a loud booger, so it had the oomph to cover everything I needed. There may be 24 people at any of these outdoor performances that I've done. Several of them were at the coffee shop in a tourist section here in Lancaster. Believe it or not, the town's called Intercourse. Need more volume. I got the equipment to cover it, so that feels good. I actually bought a little tent thing. I forget what canopy. Very small one, but just to cover a folk singer and a PA system. I can sit down under it. So we playing outdoor gigs, I can be some shield from the sun. Sun's not so good for me. I've had some skin cancer in the past, melanoma no less. What's the next thing I wanted to touch on? I stopped reading books about the business of music. I've read too many, and I get to thinking that maybe I know something. I don't know shit. You got to experience stuff and have something real to talk about. Reading books doesn't really make you an expert on anything. It just makes you an annoying son of a bitch is all it does. So I'm moving on. They're already putting out new editions of the books I've already read, but I'm laying off of it. And of course the music industry is changing, so that gives me that FOMO feeling that, oh God, if I don't read the newest books, I'm gonna not be up to date on what I need to be doing. Well, the fact is, I need to be doing shit. I don't need to be reading stuff. I need to be actually doing the stuff. So like I said, the Facebook and Instagram, why don't I have a business page on those systems yet? The main reason is I wasn't really playing out very much, don't have any live music, too new at it, and I think I can name at least one legitimate reason is if you go ahead and you upgrade to business level on those accounts, Facebook, aka Meta, will suppress your posts. Now they want you to pay to let people see them. When you just post them to your friends, maybe 20% of your friends get to see it. And last I heard, they capped you at 500 maybe. You're allowed 500 friends. But at the most, 20% will see. Sometimes only as low as 10% will see any one post. It kind of spreads out over days. Even now, and I don't have that many friends, maybe 150 or so. I'll see, 5-6 days later, somebody will like a post. I did that a week ago, and you're just now liking it. Tells me that they're just now seeing it on their feed. But once you go with a business post, I think the percentage that gets to see it is even fewer unless you pay them some money. Not that it's very expensive at this stage in the game, but it's still money, and it's going the wrong direction. I don't expect any money to really be coming in at this stage. I really don't. I really expect to be paying marketing money, gear money, performing gigs for little, maybe nothing in some cases. But I have really worked the angle of being a cover artist, so I do expect when I do gigs, for the most part, to get paid something, as opposed to, I'm an original artist and I'm just going to do original songs. And famously enough, original artists don't really get paid very much, if anything, ever, for doing gigs where they do original music, where they fall into pay-to-play trap. The local bars are just looking to sell booze, and so getting people drinking kind of works better if you're playing music that they know. At least that's the formula as I understand it, but I don't know shit because I haven't done very many of these gigs yet. I just read. Anyhow, next thing up on my list. I began this channel. Duh. So I haven't had too many views on it yet. My hope is that if I'm persistent, that this will eventually grow, that I'll catch some attention of folks at some point, and people will look back and see what I've done and see how I've grown, and how the system, the business, the career, whatever you want to call it, how it's kind of progressed a little for me. So I guess specifically I began the Songwriter's Journal, but beyond just this, the channel itself has some live videos, not too long ago, just this year, maybe 3 weeks ago, I did an open mic night, and the host said that he was gonna film everybody, and if anyone wanted to pay him a couple bucks, he would work the sound and the video together and mix it. You know, do a higher quality job than I would be able to do on my own. I paid him 30 bucks. You know, he mixed like 3 songs for me. It's out there, but he released it under his name. He sent me a copy of it. I got to get it up on my channel now. See me, and I've got several that homemade jobs I shot on my phone, like I'm doing right now. And I know the quality of both the sound and the audio isn't first class yet. Right now, I'm just shooting with my iPhone. What is 13? It's one of the newer models, but they put out new models every 6 months to a year, so it's probably old by now. I haven't had this phone more than a year, and at the time I bought it, it was the newest on the market. And I'm not using an external mic at all. I'm using the phone mic for today's video, if you're interested. Did my first photo session. That was interesting. I happened to notice one of the other musicians in the local Lancaster scene, Joe Segan, had a photo shoot done and was sharing some of those photos on Facebook. And he shared the name of the photographer and said, I recommend her work. So I reached out to her and, on Messenger through Facebook, and we connected. She was like, yeah, let's get together. We'll do a photo shoot out in the wild somewhere. So got a really cool shot of me in front of a moving train. I've used that already as an advertisement for like on Facebook, like a banner, flyer, poster, whatever you want to call it, saying, hey, Rob Edenbo's playing at Sherman Creek Inn, and the Facebook cover photo of me holding my guitar. It looks better than anything I've done myself, and I think there might be half a dozen of those shots from that photo shoot that I've used. They're on my website. The website I got it live last year, which was awesome. That was one of the big accomplishments. So yeah, I should mention that. RobEdenbo.com. I own the domain. The website's up through Bandzoogle. Figured out all that and subscribed to the monthly basic rate. I'm loving it. I really think the website looks nice, and it is really cool to email a venue and to say, find an example of my work at robedenbo.com. And if they go there, right there on the landing page, they'll find 2 videos of me playing live music or cover songs. And they're not bad videos. They're pretty good. I shot them myself using, again, this phone, and I'm real happy with that. I am going to do another photo shoot later this year that's on the agenda, maybe more than one, because I am going to release music. I'll get to that. But anyway, I'm working about a recap right now of last year. Website's up, first photo shoot. I wrote at least 24 songs. I probably wrote more than that, but 24 that I played around with, maybe had some voice recordings on the phone, or got included in one of these videos for the Songwriter's Journal. I'm not happy with that output. I think I need to write a lot more. I think I need to be doing closer to 50 a year. I definitely want to pump that up. I've already written 5 or 6 yet this year, at least 5. So I guess the biggest thing is to set aside a day for songwriting. Going back to 2020, I believe it was, it might have been 2021. It was as we were coming out of COVID. I had done an online songwriting group, I guess it was. It started as a class. It turned into a kind of a group where we were meeting once a week. But there was only 3 or 4. They couldn't sustain it. It was through the Philadelphia Folk Song Society. I think that's the name of the group. They're the same people that bring together the Philadelphia Folk Festival, which sadly did not happen last year due to insufficient funds. they're in the process of reinventing that. It's already been announced they are having it again in 2024. I'm super stoked about that. I really have not been to a festival of any kind since before 2020, 2019, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you what the last one was I was at. What else did I do? Oh, I had been taking some lessons online. I tried that last year through Peghead Nation, which is a pretty good video system, but I just wasn't keeping up with it. I did not have the motivation, and static video, even if it's formatted, which is all Peghead Nation is, high quality, top-notch teachers, I can't complain about anything. It's just, if you ain't doing it, it's not doing you any good. You're just paying for it, which, it's a rolling subscription like anything else these days. Everybody wants you to subscribe, and getting unsubscribed to some things can be tough. Peghead Nation was very easy to subscribe and enroll in, and to cancel the subscription was instant, very simple. They're good people to work with. I would recommend them any day. And yeah, maybe I'll try it again someday, but last year I didn't have the motivation. Did I get anything out of it? Yeah, sure, I'm sure I did. So I'm glad I tried it. I was doing my songwriting group last year. That kind of came to an end for me. Will it continue again in the future? Possibly, if they're not mad at me. I don't know. I kind of stopped going to the groups. Last time I was at the group, I wasn't the most friendly person. I was just kind of there and left early. Just didn't talk to anybody. Not a very good way to be around friends or other musicians who want to hang and be cool. But I was overcoming my own issues internally. Certainly did struggle. Everybody knows I went through a divorce 2 years ago, and it's not quite been 2 years yet since we separated, but we're real close. And it's caught up. It never left, but it's caught up more and more, and it's been a struggle. So last year was the worst of that, and I'm hoping to be moving forward here in 2024. I do want to mention my favorite shows I got to see, and there weren't very many. I didn't get to any festivals, of course. I mentioned that. I have gotten to see a number of my friends locally, and I continue to try to support the local scene here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Doing what little I can, but going to their shows, for one, is real important to me. Going to the local open mics. I do share pictures of the other musicians when I get on Facebook. You'll see as many of them as you will of me, if not more. And I always tag them. I tag the venues. I'm trying to be supportive. What national acts did I see last year? I saw Lorena McKenna. She was fabulous. I've seen her once before, many years ago, back when she did that, was it Book of Days? Book of Secrets? I don't know. The Mummer's Dance was a hit song off that album. I saw her on that tour, Dante's Prayer, beautiful song. So I saw her this year in Philadelphia in a theater. Perfect venue for her. It was just fabulous, blown away by it. And I believe she could count as folk music. I mean, harp music. Certainly not my version of folk music, doing the singer-songwriter with a guitar. She's singer-songwriter, but she's with a harp. She has a band that backs her up. Electric guitars, fiddle player, fabulous fiddle player. Oh, they were great. All her musicians are great. But nonetheless, I digress. I swear I saw at least one other live act last year, but I can't remember now off the top of my head. I didn't get out to see very many. I have to say my favorite local story was one of the local venues called Phantom Power. They get a lot of national acts there, a lot of really hip things. It's a college town is where they're located here, where F&M is over in Millersville, Pennsylvania, which is a 10-minute drive from my front door. So I saw my buddy Ruddy there on a Friday night. I was the only one in the audience for most of the show. So, like I say, I try what I can to promote it, the local scene. But the next night, Saturday night, there was a national punk folk kind of act there. A young crowd, and my son went to that show, and you know, kids are all like, yeah, we're the rebels, we're the new generation, we're what's hip, and my son's there in the front row, and like, oh shit, that's a picture of my dad on the wall. Sure enough, the venue had pictures of stuff they're doing, you know, and they had a picture of my buddy Ruddy Turnstone playing, and the guy that's in the audience's dad, like, ah. Oh, can't help but think that's funny. Favorite releases. So I couldn't tell you what all was released in 2023 versus earlier. I've kind of been rediscovering some stuff because I've spent so much time developing my own thing and seeing the local acts. I listen to their stuff that they release, but I started been revisiting what other acts are doing now, the national acts, and really getting more and more interested in that, spending more and more time just playing the music, even if I'm not listening to it, it's background at least. Sarah Jaraz, love her. I discovered her many years ago, and kind of rediscovering her. She just released a new album. So I would say that new album is definitely on my list of, I don't want to call it a 2023 release. The album officially dropped here in 24, but the first song or two came out the end of last year. It's called Jealous Moon. Is that the name of the album? That's the name of the first song anyway. Oh, Polaroid Lovers, that's the name of the album, and it really is nice. The album's only been out a week or two now at this point. I've seen her live. I got to see her this year. It was awesome. So it wasn't part of last year's, but I saw her this year in 2024, right at the beginning of February here. So that's fresh in my mind, and she's good. The venue is a little lacking. It's that World Cafe in Philadelphia. It's a great idea, great sound system. The room sounds nice, but you got to stand for the whole show, which was probably my biggest beef, because I thought I had paid extra money for a seat, and turns out that I clicked the wrong button on their ticket site, which is a strike against the venue if your ticket site is that difficult to read. So I paid extra money for what I thought was a seat, but it turns out it was a meet and greet that had already come and gone by the time I got there, because I thought I had paid for a seat. And there weren't very many seats anyway. It's very limited seating. It's mostly standing room only. But she was still fabulous. What else is going on here? For favorite releases. With my buddy Ruddy Turnstone, he had done an album. It's called Spooky Songs. Check it out. He had a song in there called I've Been to This Dungeon Before. Great song, and it got well over 75,000 streams on Spotify. He put a little marketing money into it, and it kind of took off for a little while there, and it really is a good song. Features all local artists playing in the band on that. Nickel Creek, they released The Celebrants, and I've kind of been rediscovering their 2000 album. I guess it's a self-titled album, but yeah, it's just the whole catalog's coming back for me, and they're coming to Lancaster here in March, and I'm going to go see them. I already bought a ticket. Rolling Stones, of all people, released another album. First song on there, Angry, really kicks ass. It's a good album, believe it or not. They still got it. I don't know what they are, 75, 80 years old. I think Charlie Parker is probably the only one that dresses like he's... what can I say? You see the Glimmer Twins, they dress like... hell, kids don't even dress like that. They're just in their own little world of offbeat fashion. They're cool. You gotta love them. They are still kicking, and they still got it. Who else do I have on here? Tyler Childers. I've been kind of following him and catching on here over the last couple of years. This year I really started listening to a lot more of his stuff. He's fabulous. Alrighty, got interrupted doing the video shoot here, and it's been about 6 days, and I'm getting back to it here to finish up. Key point here I want to get in is, the song. That's what the Songwriter Journal is all about, right? So this one's called To You Out There. It is about my own experiences with family I've lost touch with, in particular my stepsons, and I'll always love them, and that's the bottom line. thank you for tuning into the Songwriter's Journal again. And my hope and goal and prayer here is that 2024 brings many more of these Songwriter's Journals with more frequency and better songs. Please give a like to this video. I appreciate that very much. Please subscribe. I enjoy having folks listen and just be there along for the ride. And it's been a good time. 2023 was great with these videos and getting used to shooting something and putting it out there, sharing, being open about it. 2024, hopefully it's going to just continue to get better, you know. Hopefully I'll get better with the equipment and the editing, and the sound, of course, is important. So, till next time, my friends, love and peace.